Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Carla if you are new here, and I talk about weight loss and mental health and all different types of things here. I previously lost a whole heap of weight and I have a full journey thing which I'll list here if you guys want to check that out. But I recently did my Q&A which I answered a load of questions from you guys, and part of that Q&A somebody actually commented that it felt like sitting down and have a cup of coffee with a friend. So I thought I might start this little series called Coffee Chats with Carla, or a cup of coffee with Carla, whatever you think is the better title. But the reason being is just to have, like, I don't know how quick, because God knows I'm not very capable of being quick, just have chats about a couple of different experiences and different things that have happened to me over the course of my weight loss, postpartum depression, mental health journey, fashion journey, all these like different types of things, but just kind of like an informal video where I just sit down and have a chat with you guys. I hope that it's something that you like. Sometimes there can be a pearl of wisdom that comes out of these things. Sometimes there can be just the strange ramblings of a slightly odd woman, but you know, like if you want to have a cup of coffee with Carla, grab yourself a mug of coffee, and today I'm gonna have a chat with you. Anyway, today what I thought I would talk about or expand upon a little bit is about an experience that I had the week before last. I talked about it on my Instagram and I asked you guys, would you be interested in me kind of expanding a bit more on this? And the majority of, actually like loads of people got back. I didn't do a poll or anything, but loads of people got back and said that they were really interested in me talking about this. So basically what happened was I was down in Naas, which is just outside Dublin, with my mom last week, or whatever it was, the week before, and we went to the local Tesco. So to give you a bit of a backstory, Vincent and I lived in Naas in County Kildare with my mom while the buying process of our house was going through, just to save the last bit of money. So she very kindly offered us her house, and we moved in then in June 2019. And in July 2019 is when I had my realization. And I was walking around the Tesco in Naas, the one that was really close to our apartment, and I basically got triggered. I got completely and utterly triggered standing in that Naas, in that Tesco in Naas. It was so overwhelming. It felt like I was that woman, or girl should I say again, that I was 32 and I was 23 and a bit stone, or 323 pounds. I felt like I was in the midst of food addiction, and it was like I felt like I was in it again. I was walking, because that Tesco has not changed at all, and it was exactly the same. And I was looking for soy milk for Vincent, and we had to go down an aisle. And as I walked down the aisle, I remember, I think it's like on the sweets aisle, I remember walking down and thinking, like back then, nothing was filling the void. And it was so intense. It was it's so weird now to have an experience like that. So just to give you a background, you might have seen stories from before, but I have had bulimia, binge eating disorder, and food addiction, and I had been treated for binge eating disorder and bulimia prior, but I still was very overweight. But prior to Vincent and I moving to Naas, we were trying to save money, and when we moved, actually, we were trying to save money, and we started doing the thing called the Artist's Way. And as part of the Artist's Way, it was just a way like to give us a hobby or something to do that didn't cost much money. And part of it is doing morning pages. So we were doing an awful lot of journaling, and it's basically just freehand writing for a few minutes. And I'm going to do a video all about my like proper journaling journey, but through journaling, a lot of stuff had started to come up within me, and I really wasn't sure what was happening. I knew that I was no longer binging, but my inner turmoil had started to get really bad, and actually to the point where I stopped journaling because I was starting to feel a certain kind of way. I'd also started reading Dance with Anger, is that what it's called? Dance of Anger by Harriet Lerner. I'll link it down below, sorry, I can just see it on my bookshelf there. But so I was starting to, it's about people who've never allowed themselves to be angry before, and that started to bring up a lot of things within me as well. So there was a lot of stuff going on in here. And the more I had to kind of take a break from all that journaling and things like that, because I was really like, I didn't intentionally take a break from it. I didn't correlate that the journaling, the reading those types of books was stirring something inside me, but there was definitely, I knew that kind of general activity was starting something within me, and so I tried to cope with it in the way that I knew best and that I had learnt from my whole life, and that was with food. So I was never able to ground myself, never able to stay in my body, because my inner critic, my inner voice was so loud, and I would numb it out with food. I would, you know, leave my body, traumatized 5-year-old child would take over, and I would just eat and eat and eat and try to comfort and fill the hole that was inside me. And walking around that Tesco reminded me that of the point that just before I had my realization that all my thoughts that and my negative self-talk in my head was not mine. Just before that, I hit rock bottom. That was really rock bottom for me. I was walking around that Tesco desperately trying to find something to fill the void, something that was going to comfort me, and nothing was. I was at that point that no longer did food allow me to be a point of escape, allow for a point of escape, because what was going on inside me. And I really talk about in here because it was really, I did sensory motor psychotherapy afterwards, and that really kind of helped to release the trauma from my body. So a lot of this is like, I can feel this inside me. It was this absolute, complete and utter turmoil and angst and stress, and food wasn't covering it anymore. Basically, it was like I kind of uncovered layers, enough layers that there was a crack, and the things that I was going to have to deal with were coming to the surface. And basically I was just having this, like, this was just coming forward, and I was in that Tesco a lot, like nearly daily, trying to find something that would numb this feeling, that would make this feeling go away, and nothing was doing it anymore. Nothing. And it wasn't consciously going around going, I need to eat to get rid of this feeling. I know now that's what I was doing, but it was just such an automatic reaction for me that, you know, feel a negative way, comfort myself with food. Feel something negative, seek comfort from the source that I know the best, which is food. And it was, oh my God, it was so intense. I remember like we used to get these huge big sticks of bread, like, you know, like really hefty bread, and I would cover like enough to feed probably 4 people, cover it in avocado and hummus and tons of olive oil, and think I was being healthy, you know, and trying to fill the void with that. And as soon as I finished that, I'd go on and eat something else, and it was basically just in this constant eating cycle, just like not even, there wasn't even binges, it was just eating all the time and being obsessed with food and where it was coming from, and the next and the next, and these huge plates of pasta. And I remember walking around that Tesco, oh God, it's really, even to like bring myself back there is it's really painful. Like, that was the worst part of my life. I was definitely in the worst mental state that I had been in my life. And it was just like, even though we were buying a house and like, but there was so much stress with that. And maybe I'll do another one of these with the stress that was associated with that, because there was the stress associated with my weight and that. But yeah, going there the other day, I had to remind myself that I'm not that person anymore, that I'm not 23 stone anymore. And it's not about the weight, it's about the mental shift and the completely different person that I am now. I had to remind myself that I'm not that person anymore, and I had to do grounding work. The issue was as well that when I was in the Tesco, I wasn't alone, so I couldn't explain to the person I was with what was going on and why you know, I was feeling this way. I had to work on myself. So I kind of took myself off and I went, you know, pretended I was going to go get something else, and I just took a second and just grounded myself. Made sure I could feel my feet, make sure I could, you know, like I bent down as if I was gonna like tie my shoes, and I just felt my leg, you know, like just kept myself really grounded so that I didn't have a panic attack. And thank you to the person who said that they used, I discussed this methodology in another video that I have, and somebody said that they used it for panic attacks, and actually that was really helpful to me, because I knew I was going to end up, I was getting that way. I could feel it building and building inside me, so I knew that was going to happen. But I was able to ground myself. And that, like, that really simple thing of feeling your feet, feeling your toes, looking around, making sure you can name like 10 items that are around you, 5 items, whatever it may be. That really, really helped. And it just made me go, okay, no, you're in this body. This is the body that you've worked for. Your mind is not what it was back then. You're not escaping. You've worked through the things that were causing you that pain and that turmoil, and you're okay. So yeah, that's kind of just, you know, my little story that I wanted to let you guys know, that like even if I might seem like I have it all together sometimes, you know, or seem like I am, you know, perfect, or I'm not perfect, I'm not saying I am, but I know people can put others on a pedestal, so like I can be triggered, I can go there, I can have that kind of reaction still to this day. So I just wanted to come on and let you guys know that so if you're feeling a certain way, you know, your feelings are valid, you are valid. Yeah, guys, that's the end of my little, you know, cup of coffee with Carla. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please let me know if you like this like little series, or if there's something else you want me to chat about, or another experience or something like that, and I can fill you in. And please leave me a cup of coffee emoji if you made it to the end of the video, and don't forget to subscribe and follow me over on Instagram, because I do a lot of chatting over there as well. So guys, I will talk to you very soon. Bye.